first time we ever met Leland was through his children. I was their teacher at school and became acquainted with him through cheerleading. And he told us he was a builder. We just, it sparked our interest. So we would from time to time venture out and look at homes that he had built.
Leland built a different house than most builders that we had looked at. Quality was excellent. Attention to detail was just visibly the first thing you saw.
So we looked at 2 or 3 houses before we ever, when it sparked our interest, and that was about 5 years before we ever built our house. And we decided then that when we were ready financially to build the house we wanted, that he would definitely be the builder.
And so when that time came, we called Leland. We wanted to meet with him, and you know, we went out to his office. And he was trying to help us to figure out, you know, what we wanted, what our range was to spend, what kind of house, and he gave us some plans. Looked at a couple of different designers, and said, you know, go find what you want. And so we spent about a week or 2 or 3 looking at house plans. Trying to figure out, you know, what we wanted, and so we found a few, went back and talked to Leland, and so based on that, I think our first conversation was the house was probably a little too big based on the type of house that Leland built. So we kind of scaled it down a little bit, found another plan that kind of fit everything.
But what he did in the beginning was he told us if we had X amount of dollars, it didn't matter. He told us to brainstorm and write down everything that we would want in a house. And then, price-wise, we started scaling back. Okay, what's definite we want in a house? And I liked that part of it because he didn't tell us from the get-go, you can't have this, you can't have this. He started big, and then we scaled back.
You know, basically, Leland started the house. We didn't really know what to expect. It started going fast. We started noticing things that maybe we really weren't sure what we were going to get. But we knew that Leland was going to build a house like he wanted to build it, something we would want. And so, you know, we started building in April, and in July we went on vacation to the beach, and the house was fully framed, roof on it, windows weren't in yet, and so Leland says, you know, I'll send you guys some pictures if we get some stuff done, and so we're at the beach, you know, and we're just every day, you know, what has he done, what has he done? Well, he finally sent some pictures, and we were just blown away with the way the house looked. It was just amazing. And, you know, another instance, we were at the beach, and Leland made it kind of an executive decision. He called us, he said, hey, you know, we've got an issue with the entrance from the garage to the laundry room, and there might be some things you want to consider. So, you know, we took a little closet in the garage, and instead of having a garage space, turned it into a large pantry and a larger utility room. So things like that, we just, you know, Leland was kind of looking out for us on those things.
I remember the first time we walked into the hearth room in the kitchen, and all that was there was just the tall windows, no woodwork, anything, and we just looked up and was standing in that room with Leland and said, this is the most beautiful house. And he started laughing and said, just wait until you see the woodwork.
Okay, so one of the things that Leland talked to us in the beginning was accountability as far as money and where we were in the progress of building the house. So Teresa and I didn't really have any idea of what he was talking about. I mean, we knew what the house was going to cost, or around about what it was going to cost. But what we have here is a monthly detail of everything, every piece of, down from bricks to wood, nails, everything. I mean, we've got little dividers here. We've got reports and estimates, change orders. If anything that we wanted extra, it's listed here and exactly how much it costs. I mean, it can go on and go on and go on about, you know, everything that's in here. But every month we got a report from Leland exactly how much he had spent, and so we knew exactly how much we were going to have to pay him that month, and we knew detail for everything.
Because of the detailed reports each month, after about 2 or 3 months, we were able to actually see that we were under budget. Once we found out we were under budget, we were able to make decisions about the kitchen and add some amenities that we wouldn't have to begin with, based on like adding things to the cabinets and such like that. Backsplashes with tile, and also in our master bathroom. So the fact that he gave us this every month, we were able to see how we were reaching that final total, and actually ended up to the good.
Okay, another thing that really we were kind of blown away with Leland is every time we would come to the house, no matter if it was when they had just poured the basement, the concrete, or the house was 50% done and there was just wood and just everything that it takes to build a house, but everything was always clean. And we would come in at the end of the day and the floors would be clean, everything would be swept up, there was no tools laying around, there was no ladders just kind of laying to the side. Everything was just spotless, and so when we came and looked, we kind of had a good idea where things where stuff was going to be, and we weren't stepping over his equipment to get to it.
Because I knew Leland when we started this process, his wife was readily available for me to kind of help me through that point, because they started handing me colors and to pick out light fixtures and tile, and I was overwhelmed. So they had built a community down the road called Camden Court, and they're upscale condos. And so his wife took me to each condo that was totally different, decorated, different color scheme, different cabinets, and I was able to visually see what I was picking out and how it would go with our house. And the light fixtures, I said, "Here, Janie, help me." And she took the catalog and said, "I think this would look good in your house." She knew Shane and I, our personalities, so she was able to help us, and it wasn't too fancy, but too common. So that was an asset for us.
All right, so one thing that was really helpful with Leland is Teresa and I decided to put a pool in about a year after we'd been in the house. And I've got an audio device that runs everything in the house here, and so we put some outdoor speakers in. And I got all the speaker wire ran, but I couldn't figure out how to get from the basement up into the fireplace. And Leland was more than gracious to come out and spend about 3 or 4 hours one Saturday morning and help me get that done. And it was pretty tedious, but he was more than helpful to do it.